NASCAR's defunct teams. Geoff Bodine Racing. Geoff Bodine Racing is a former NASCAR Cup Series and Craftsman Truck Series race team that competed from 1993 through 1999. The race team originally was Alan Kulwicki's number 7 Hoosier Ford Thunderbird, or Underbird, as Alan Kulwicki would put it, in the championship race in 1992. Now that was a race in which Kulwicki etched his name in the history books as the last owner driver to win the NASCAR Cup Series championship. Sadly, in the spring, Kulwicki lost his life in a plane crash. Bodine, who was driving for Bud Moore Engineering at the time, decided to make the move that several other reputable drivers were making at the time, including Darrell Waltrip and Kulwicki himself, to become an owner-driver. Geoff was able to raise the money to purchase the assets of Kulwicki's former team. Considering how much success they found with Kulwicki, Bodine decided to leave the team basically exactly the way it was. All the personnel, including crew chief Paul Andrews, intact. Geoff Bodine Racing's debut race was race 24 in the NASCAR Cup Series in 1993 at Dover, with Bodine behind the wheel of a number 7 Family Channel Ford Thunderbird. Family Channel came on as the primary sponsor for the remainder of the 1993 season. In their first race, Bodine started 4th, but ended up getting collected in a lap 358 accident, leaving him to finish 30th. His best start was 2nd at Martinsville in the fall, and his best finish was 10th at Rockingham in the fall. The 1994 NASCAR Cup Series season was full of highs and lows, either up front or DNFing, netting 15 DNFs in the first 31 starts throughout the season. And DNF stands for did not finish, basically not being able to finish the race. Bodine landed solid sponsorship from Exide Batteries for the next couple seasons. Behind the wheel of his self-owned number 7 Exide Batteries Ford Thunderbird, Bodine spent the first 2 weeks of the season in the bottom of the top 10 in points, then fell through the 20s and worked his way back up into the top 20 in final points. Another factor in Bodine's performance was the fact that he was primarily running Hoosier tires in 1994. Hoosier is a smaller rival tire company to Goodyear. At the time, there was a, quote, tire war happening in the NASCAR Cup Series. The team also had a strong car in the inaugural Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis in the summer, though, while battling for the lead with his brother Brett, Geoff was spun out on purpose in front of the entire field, causing him not to be able to finish the race. Geoff claimed Brett did it on purpose, and Brett indeed admitted he did. Geoff's best start was 1st, 5 times, at Rockingham in the spring, Pocono and Michigan in the summer, then Darlington and Dover in the fall. Bodine's best finish was 1st 3 times, at Pocono, where he led 156 laps out of 200 laps, in Michigan in the summer, then North Wilkesboro in the fall. At North Wilkesboro, he was the last driver to lap the entire field and win the race. It has not been done since. With the wave around rule and the lucky dog pass, truthfully, I don't ever see it happening again. Bodine was also able to find victory lane in the 1994 All-Star race, held at Charlotte Motor Speedway, becoming the first owner-driver to ever win the event. Overall, in 31 starts, he scored 5 poles, 3 wins, 7 top 5s, and 10 top 10s, finishing 17th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. After finding victory lane several times the season prior in 1994, 1995 was not nearly as successful for the team. The one bright spot was that they finished 26 races this season, whereas in 94 they only finished 16 races. Hoosier pulled out of NASCAR at the conclusion of the 1994 season, meaning that one of Bodine's occasional edges over the field was gone. His best start was 4th at Rockingham in the spring, and his best finish was 5th at Martinsville in the fall. Overall, in 31 starts, Bodine scored 1 top 5 and 4 top 10s, finishing 16th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. Geoff Bodine Racing did grow in 95 when NASCAR rolled out the Super Truck Series, now the Craftsman Truck Series. Geoff Bodine and Busch Series, now O'Reilly Auto Parts Series driver Dave Rezendez, split the driving duties almost right down the middle in the number 7 Exide Batteries Ford F-150, each making 10 starts. Bodine made the first start of the season at Phoenix International Raceway. When Rezendez wasn't driving the number 7 truck, he served as Bodine's crew chief while he drove the truck. The number 7 was rather competitive when either Bodine or Rezendez was behind the wheel. Bodine's best start was 2nd at Saugus Speedway, in the spring. His best finish was second 3 times, at Saugus in the spring, Bristol in the summer, then Richmond in the fall. Overall, in 10 Craftsman Truck Series starts, Bodine scored 6 top 5s and 7 top 10s. Rezendez made the other 10 starts in a 20-race season. His best start was 4th at Mesa Martin Raceway in the spring, and his best finish was 2nd at I-70 Speedway in the spring. Overall, in 10 starts, Rezendez scored 2 top 5s and 7 top 10s. He also ran the final race of the season, also at Phoenix at the time, behind the wheel of his second team entry, the number 07 Exide Batteries Ford, starting 21st and finishing 14th. Jeffrey's son Barry Bodine made his NASCAR debut at Martinsville in the fall, behind the wheel of the number 07 Tanya Tucker's Salsa Ford. He started 28th, and after a lap 72 accident, he finished 30th. With the expansion team of Roush Racing, the number 99 coming into existence, Exide Batteries moved over to their team with Geoff Burton, starting in 1996. Meaning Bodine and number 17 would have to find a new sponsor. And then comes in quality, value, and convenience of the ability to shop at home. QBC will become the team's primary sponsor for the next couple seasons. Bodine started the 96 Cup Series season with 5 finishes of 22nd or worse, putting him 38th in points at the time. By late spring and early summer, things really started to turn around for the number 7 Ford team. Bodine's best start was 3rd at Darlington in the fall, and his best finish was 1st at Watkins Glen in the summer. This victory was special for several reasons. For one, Bodine is from New York, and this is his home track. Also, this ended up being his final NASCAR victory. Overall, in 31 starts, he scored 1 win, 2 top 5s, and 6 top 10s, finishing 17th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. Another odd fact is that at Sonoma in the spring, Bodine had Rezendez qualify as number 7, in which he ended up qualifying 23rd. Bodine attempted to qualify a second entry for his team, the number 07 QBC Ford, though he did not make the field. As far as the Craftsman Truck Series side of the operation, the team had his full-time number 7 QBC Ford driven by Dave Rezendez. Danny Dias served as Rezendez crew chief in 1996. Rezendez had a career year by far in 1996, spending 17 weeks inside the top 5 and 22 weeks inside the top 10 in points throughout the season, even technically leading points for 1 week following his season-opening victory at Homestead. Rezendez's best start was 3rd twice, at I-70 Speedway and Watkins Glen in the summer. His best finish was 1st 3 times, at Homestead in the spring, Nashville in the summer, and Sonoma in the fall. Overall, in 24 starts, he scored 3 wins, 8 top 5s, and 13 top 10s, finishing 6th in final Craftsman Truck Series point standings. Geoff Bodine Racing's part-time second Truck Series entry, the number 07, returned in 96. Bodine made 4 starts, and his best start was 1st at Homestead in the spring. His best finish was 8th at Nazareth in the summer, scoring 1 top 10 in 4 starts. Barry Bodine also made 2 starts in that number 07. His best start was 28th at North Wilkesboro in the fall. His best finish was 20th at Martinsville in the fall. Things didn't really improve in 1997. Bodine and his number 7 QBC Ford had speed at times, but also couldn't qualify for a couple very big races, the Daytona Summer Race and the Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis. Pat Tryson began the season as Bodine's crew chief, but Tim Brewer took over starting at race 23 in Darlington. Bodine's best start was 1st twice at Charlotte and Bodine's best start was 1st twice at Charlotte and Atlanta in the fall, including a new track record in Atlanta that still holds to this day. His best finish was 2nd twice at Richmond in the spring and Watkins Glen in the summer. Overall, in 29 starts, Bodine scored 2 poles, 0 wins, 3 top 5s, and 10 top 10s, finishing 22nd in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. Back in the Craftsman Truck Series, the team brought on Tammy Jo Kirk to drive the team's number 7 Ford for what intended to be a full-time gig. She brought on Lovable, a lingerie company, in a sponsorship. She made 15 starts in that number 7 and 2 in the number 07, before her and Bodine parted ways following race 18 in Nashville. Ernie Cope served as her crew chief. Kirk's best start was 3rd at Portland in the spring, and her best finish was 11th at Heartland Park, Topeka in the summer. Overall, in 17 starts, she scored 7 top 15s and 13 top 20s. Dave Rezendez made 2 starts in the number 7, the first 2 starts of the season. His best start was 10th and his best finish was 10th, both coming at Tucson Raceway Park in the spring. Barry Bodine made 7 starts, 6 in the number 7 near the end of the season, and won the number 07 in the spring at Homestead. Berry's best start was 3rd at Las Vegas in the fall, and his best finish was 12th at California in the fall. Overall, in 7 starts, he scored 1 top 15 and 4 top 20s. At the conclusion of the 1997 season, Bodine closed down the Craftsman Truck Series division of his team. Realizing his current business model wasn't functioning the way he wanted, Bodine sold off a portion of his race team to 2 people, Jim Mattia and John Porter, starting in 1998. Bodine would remain behind the wheel of his number 7, now Phillips Consumer Communications Ford Taurus. Tim Brewer began the season as his crew chief, before getting replaced following 4 straight races in which Bodine did not finish, as well as not qualifying for race 9 in Talladega. Pete Peterson came in and replaced Brewer for the remainder of the 98 season. I think maybe some of the blame could be attributed to Brewer, but I don't think it was all his fault. Bodine did have a few strong races throughout the season, though it was his worst season since he began racing full-time in the early 1980s. Jeff's best start was 2nd at Las Vegas in the spring, and his best finish was 5th at Rockingham in the spring. Overall, in 32 starts, Bodine scored 1 top 5 and 5 top 10s, finishing 27th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. Following the struggle that was the 1998 season, Bodine sold off his portion of the team to Mattia and Porter, bringing a conclusion to Geoff Bodine Racing's run in NASCAR. So, in 130 NASCAR Cup Series starts, the team scored 7 poles, 4 wins, 13 top 5s, and 31 top 10s, with a best points finish at 16th in 1995. In 78 Craftsman Truck Series starts, Geoff Bodine Racing scored 1 pole, 3 wins, 16 top 5s, and 29 top 10s, with the best points finish of 6th in 1996. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.